here to teach you cybersecurity. Today, I wanted to talk about a very important cybersecurity concept and something that happens in every organization, every company, and every business out there. Probably one of the most important things that you need to be on the lookout if you are working IT or in a cyber role, and that's called permissions creep. So it's nothing too complicated. Permissions creep just means that somebody over time or gradually gains more access, more permissions to systems or resources than they actually need. And how does this happen? Let's say you start out at a position and you're granted the permissions that are needed to do your job at that time. And then let's say a year later, a couple months later, 6 months, whatever it is, you get promoted or you move to another job role and you get provisioned permissions to resources that are required for your new role, but nobody rolled back the permissions that you got at the beginning. You might not need the permissions you had before, so now it's accumulating with the new permissions you just got. Or let's say your team needs help or your boss needs help and they ask you to come help on a project, and then you get permissions to resources while helping on that project, and then you finish and then they forget to take away your permissions that they gave you temporarily. So again, permissions creep is just when your permissions at a organization build up over time and they just never go away. So this ultimately leads to two things: a larger attack surface and the potential for an insider threat to cause more havoc. Larger attack surface means if that account is compromised and they had permissions creep the entire time, now they have access to more than they need. That account gets compromised. Now the threat actor has access to way more than they ever should have had if they got access to that account. And so then insider threat, let's say the employee that the permissions creep was happening to gets pissed off, gets fired, whatever it is, and now they want to act in a retaliatory fashion. Oh, they had permissions creep, now they have access to way more than they should have, and then they just start wreaking havoc, deleting things, changing things, or whatever it might be. How do you prevent permissions creep? Periodic access control reviews.